I forgot to deafen. Sorry for this late introduction there. Welcome to game two of match three. We've got over here Lunik playing the Protoss, and we've got Amanda playing the Zerg again. Last game, we had a very, very quick attack come out of Lunik. Bunch of Zerglings rush into the base just fast enough to before Amanda had gotten hers up. Kind of killed her, unfortunately. So there wasn't really a whole lot going on. It was a pretty short game. Players didn't really have a lot of questions. Not a lot of time to learn either, which may affect the grand finals. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if the winner of this game is able to think on their feet fast enough in the finals when we get to that. There were some questions about the map, the way that the map is chosen in this game. I am choosing maps randomly. I'm kind of thinking about the way that the players have talked about the game and picking maps that kind of can adjust some issues there. While also maintaining the competitive map pool. So we've pulled all of our these are all 1v1 maps, two-player maps that come from the current competitive map pool, and it's November in 2024. They're basically going to be the same forever because the game's kind of shut down at this point. We see Lunik again, immediately building aggressive buildings. We'll see if Amanda's gotten a chance. She's got her spawning pool up, so she's getting to the point where she can kind of help herself a little bit. She's building her evolution chamber also. We had talked about ways that she could have prevented dying so quickly, and one of them was get your spawning pool up faster and build a thing that gives you some upgrades. So theoretically, this game should have these players are further apart, so there should be more time for players to think about what's going on and figure out their factions, kind of what they're doing. Lunik's got a zealot up. He's kind of toying around with movement, figuring out how stuff goes. I'm going to pop in with a quick bit of advice because we didn't get to a point where it mattered last game, and I do want to just make note of it. Hey, I did want to make note of something that we did not discuss at all last game because it was fairly short. Because players did figure this out over the course of their first game. After a certain amount of time, when you feel comfortable to do so, you should be building another one of your nexuses or your hatcheries in new mineral patches to gain more minerals. You can build more than one of those, and it is a good idea to eventually expand out into your base. The timing of that is for you to figure out. All right, and we'll take a look at our production stuff. Amanda's making a lot more units. She's got a significant force here together for herself, and she is producing minerals just as fast as anybody. So theoretically, we should find ourselves in a situation where she's able to defend herself against this army that Lunik's building up. 4 zealots is a lot, but not so much that whatever we got. 14 Zerglings can't fight. Lunik has fully oversaturated his minerals at this point, which is fine for a little bit, but he's going to need to fix that in a second here. He's kind of building his next Nexus out. He's realized that he's ready for that. Amanda's gone for a little bit more aggressive unit building. So she's a little bit safer, but I don't know that she's going to aggress with them if she gets this unit advantage, which could mean that she's kind of putting herself behind in the long run on the mineral game. There we go. Yep, fantastic. Now she's getting a little aggressive with them. Kind of figuring out how they move around. Fantastic. And then go be aggressive. Perfect. This is not going to work against this number with a proton cannon. This is going to be a pretty tough situation, pretty rough fight. But we'll see where she finds herself ending up at. All right, she's just kind of figuring out how they move around and such. It's fair. It looks like both players are going to have weapons 1 done just about the same time. Pretty standard. We've got a cybernetics core coming in. We've got some assimilators coming in. Do we build 2 cybernetics cores? That's overkill, probably. That's probably too good. Or too many. Not too good. It's bad. It's bad. That was a waste of resources. But it's fine to have backups on stuff. Amanda needs to be building more workers here instead of more units. She's going to fall into the classic trap of she doesn't have enough production buildings. Zerg need a lot more hatcheries in order to be functioning. She's got her layer upgraded. Lunik has so much supply now. He's got a fuck ton of supply. It seems that he may have more rapidly assessed the situation. These Banelings are huge, though. Banelings are going to be able to blow up these Zealots so fast that Lunik will have no idea what's hit him. He has never encountered Banelings before. These players are both completely new to StarCraft. Amanda probably won't even know the ridiculous amount of shit that she's about to unleash on these people. It's going to be very funny. But we'll see. We'll see if she decides to get aggressive with this force. She really should be building another hive here any second now. But it seems that she is not. Okay, a Roach Warren. Those are some more powerful units that will be exceptionally effective against these Zealots. Amanda is starting to fall behind on the resource game at this point. She doesn't have nearly as many units to fight with. She doesn't have nearly as many of these. I guess she does have more units to fight with. Her army is pretty significant. These adepts will be a problem theoretically, but she needs more workers. She's down. Double workers right now, so she needs to be building more workers in order to live here, or she needs to go press her military advantage really aggressively. She needs to go attack super duper hard. It might be the case that Lunik comes forward here, attacks her with too little. That would be ideal for getting Amanda back into this game. I'd like to be seeing more out of her, though. I feel like she knows how to do this. You know, you're kind of running low on workers. Seeing that She did underbuild military units last time though. So if she thinks that Lunik is playing as aggressively as last time, um, it makes sense that she is building up forces this aggressively. She's gonna need to go like use them though, because if she doesn't, she's gonna be in a tough spot. This is now becoming a force that is going to be difficult to deal with. Lunik got an observer up and out. This is an interesting piece of utility that we're seeing. We haven't seen players build any utility units and actually use them aggressively before. We saw Lunik kind of engage in some scouting activity last time. There we go. Amanda's getting her second hatchery up. That's pretty good. We'd like to have seen one earlier, but, you know, quite. Lunik's got a bunch of observers out now. Fantastic. We got the second hatchery up. Hatchery's going to increase her supply a little bit, let her be making more units. Hopefully she'll make some more workers now that she's got all these extra mineral lines to be functioning with. I feel like players are taking a little bit slower this time. These observers are not combat units also. I don't know that... there's a lot of these for them not being combat units. We've got the robotics facility up, which means that these immortals might be coming soon. Immortals are incredibly expensive, but very, very, very powerful. Instead, we see even more observers being built. This is very funny. Lunik doesn't know that those units don't deal damage. Oh, and Amanda's got a Ravager up and coming. All right, Amanda, we could see more workers out of you. We could see a couple more workers being built. Oh, you just got this Overlord here puking. Come on, what's that? Oh, it's so gross. Alright, we've got some observers from Lunik coming out to kind of figure out where he's at on the situation of military. He's going to see that he's significantly behind in military power right now, and get a little nervous. Amanda has no observers right now, which means that she doesn't have a way to kind of deal with the fact that these observers are just going to be kind of watching everything that she's doing. Lunik's got wards. Lunik said I could build wards. Cool, perfect. I'm gonna do that 100 times. It's an interesting utilization of all of his supply that he's got access to. Ooh, and Amanda's got Hydralisks up and running. Look at them. Hydralisks are very good. She's got weapons too also. We can take a look at the upgrades real quick to see what we've got. Amanda's got better weapons right now and better armor and melee attacks. So she could find herself in a situation where she's winning most of these fights here if she chooses to attack. But again, she's falling behind in the resource game pretty quickly here. If Lunik starts making some of these better units out of this robotics facility, we could find ourselves in a situation where she's rough. She's in a rough spot. Amanda's low on gas also. She hasn't come to the realization that she's like out of workers yet. She's not building workers as fast as she needs to be. So The longer this game goes on now, the more it turns into Scott's favor. The more it goes over to Lunik towards Protoss. He's got a significantly improved economy over her. He's got way more supply. He's got way more workers running. His army is minuscule compared to Amanda's. So if she chooses to attack, she could find herself in a situation where she can take back the advantage that he has gained so far. But she needs to be behaving much more aggressively than she is. These banelings will wreak a little bit of havoc. Luna can see how much she's got going on here, and yet he's not producing any more military units. Amanda's got infestors going up. This is an exceptional army. She's very, very, very strong right now. But we would like to see it be used in a way that is different. Like to see it be used more aggressively. Lunik has observers set up literally everywhere on the map now. He can see everything. But his prescience is not doing much for his preparation. He has so many minerals in the bank. 10,000 minerals in the bank and 2,500 gasoline. He's fully exhausted all of this. His workers are not working. He's not upgrading stuff. He's not building more buildings. I guess he's building a dark shrine, and he's researching a couple of things. But we'd like to see him. I'd like to see him doing more to defend himself, because if Amanda at any point here in the next 3 to 4 minutes decides to get really aggressive with her attacks, she could win the game. Luna can see how much power she has and is not reacting properly. Really not reacting properly. We got some swarm hosts going up. These are crazy. But that worker count is still pretty low. She hasn't built any workers in the last 10 minutes. No workers in the last 10 minutes. I'm amazed that her mineral count is still keeping up, but she's doing it, so it must be working. She's mostly choked on gas right now, but like she's really not producing any minerals, so. But all this gas she spent translates into a very powerful army. There we go. Now we're seeing Lunik react a bit. He's got some high Templars up. He's got much better defensive units. Alright, so Amanda's got these swarm hosts. They don't do any attacking. You need to summon units with them, so you need to click Z while you're using them. Using these kind of unit abilities, I have estimated is fairly difficult for a lot of players that are new to the game. Lunik has taken his supply lead and his materials lead and amassed an army strong enough to defend against Amanda now. we are just kind of sitting around, watching these players kind of ball up their armies. We're seeing now in the second game this level of dirtiness that we did not see in the first one, and I'm not sure if it's because players felt bad about the speed. Look at them! Look at them in the glory. Fantastic! Wow, that's something. That sure is something. Wow, that's funny. That's very funny. I will say though, this looks like the point at which Lunik has turned the corner. His overwhelming economy has set him up for victory. Here he goes. He's got 6 warp gates working as fast as possible to produce units for him, and that's gonna be good enough. Honestly, it's gonna be good enough. And now he's going to build a pylon chain out so he can warp in next to the pylons. Lunik's a pro gamer already. He might have already played this game. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Amanda's been exploring what her units do and has kind of built a bunch of different stuff. We got a hive up and online. That's pretty good. She's built 2 more workers since the last time that we mentioned that she hasn't built any workers, so it's good that she's taken some time to do that. Her military unit count has now fallen beneath Lunik's, and at this point is probably of lower quality also. Lunik knows exactly the amount of forces that Amanda has. Amanda has no idea what kind of forces Lunik might be about to throw at her. The thing about Zerg units is that the best Zerg units have a lot of very complicated abilities. Okay, we've seen Amanda doing some action here. Maybe we'll see her do some crazy stuff here. She is still at a point where, with proper movement and a little bit of luck, that she can kill Lunik if she finds his army. The worst case scenario would be if she moves her army in the wrong spot, Lunik sees it, and then he attacks her base with everything. That would be a little fucked up, but also, you know, it's a game of StarCraft. You gotta do what you gotta do to win. This is fucked. This is a fucked up pile of units at this point. That's a little uncomfortable. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of stuff. Amanda's building more workers, finally. It did take her 22 minutes, but, you know, hey, we can't all be perfect. Lunik has armies grouped. Lunik is figuring out the grouping hotkeys. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Taking a quick peek at their streams real quick to make sure everything's above board. Alright. Interesting. Yeah, tough to say. Tough to say. You know, I think that Amanda is starting to drown. She's starting to drown under the value of all of the Protoss, but We really need some action out of these players in order to. Okay, Lunik has determined that he is stronger. He has taken a look at comparative values and decided that he is the winner right now. And so he's carefully considering his moment to attack. He's got a bunch of vision here. Obviously, he's had a bunch of these observers out all over the place, and Amanda hasn't built any detectors yet, which is difficult to your second game of StarCraft. You're never gonna figure out that you need to be doing that. So, all right, and here he goes. Here he comes in. We'll see whose battle ball is bigger. That is looking. Oh, okay. Hold on. We don't have any detectors, so these Dark Templars will inevitably just win the game flat out. That is unfortunate. That looks like death. That looks like death. Pretty succinct. Pretty horrible death. Very sad. Very, very sad. Oh! The Ultra is coming in! Oh, poor baby boy. Poor baby boy. Alrighty. Well, yeah, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. Hello, everyone. Congratulations, Lunik, on your game. You were in a pickle for a second. Amanda had significantly more units when you first scouted her. I noticed you had sent out a bunch of observers, and you kind of saw the army she had accumulated. There were multiple points of that in that, Amanda, where if you had attacked him earlier, you outnumbered him like 3-1 on your units, and that probably could have set you up for a situation. But unfortunately, Lunik's worker count got really high ahead, and he expanded a little bit more rapidly, and that kind of just led to a situation where he was making more stuff. So that is how that works. Congratulations, Lunik, on winning the second match, or the third, sorry, match 3 of the StarCraft 2 blind tournament.